Hi everybody, give me a time to set up and to come live on both Facebook and Instagram. This is the 31st episode of HSP TV already. It's going so fast, and right now I am doing both live on Facebook and on Instagram. So if you want to join me for next week or in the future, it's 5:30 Amsterdam time, so GMT +1, live on both Facebook and on Instagram. Hi Marijke, nice of you to join. If you are watching today, like Marijke is today, hi Liberty, nice of you to join. Then wave at me or type in your name and where you're from, and I'll give you a shout out in the episode. I always love to connect with the people that are watching. So awesome of you to be here today. So this 31st episode of HSP TV, today I want to talk to you about image thinking, because most of us HSPs, most of us highly sensitive people, we think in images, and I got a lot of questions about it. What is it? How does it work? Why are we image thinkers? So I thought I'd do today's episode about image thinking. Have you ever thought about how you process things, how things work in your mind? Do you tell yourself a narrative about the things that you encounter, or do you visualize the things that you encounter? Because most of us, we either think in words or we think in images, or we combine the two, but have a strong preference for either words or images. And we HSPs, we tend to be visual, and that reflects in a lot of areas actually in our lives. I think maybe the most easy way to explain it is, hi Freddy, nice of you to join. The most easy way to explain it is when we are learning. If you are somebody that thinks in words, then you are most happy when you get a big amount of text that you need to read. And you read through it, and that feeds your inner process of thinking in words. So words for you, big amounts of words, big amounts of texts, a lot of books with just words and no pictures are awesome for people who think in words. Hey Brayson, nice of you to join. But if you think in images, then you would prefer your textbook to have lots of pictures, because for you, the pictures make it really come to life. If you look at a picture, then the saying a picture is worth 1,000 times more than words is true for the image thinker. If you look at a picture, you completely understand how it works. You see the links between things, and you see how everything is connected with each other. And images really illustrate what the words are saying. And I myself am a really big fan of illustrating my learning with making mind maps, for instance. Mind mapping is a technique that most of us sensitive people will really love. I'm sure of it. It'll help you to gain clarity, to gain focus, and to structure the things that you are learning. And you are able to add pictures to it to make it even more clear. I use iMindMap from Tony Buzan for this, and it's a really awesome tool. If I had thought about this before, I would have had an example ready. I can quickly grab one. Hold on, stay there. I can show you some of mine from when I was working on my acupuncture studies. I grabbed the wrong one. Be right back again. There should be one with images. Yes, I found one. So this is what I mean with iMindMap. You have a center subject, and then you can draw branches, as it were, from there with information. And you have words on there. I'm going to zoom in a little bit for you so that you can see it. Words on there, and then you can add images that make the words even more clear. And for me, this helps me to see in one view what I had learned and to make it stick within me, to make it memorable, for me to make it easier to remember, but also easier to recall the information when I have a question about it on an exam. Then I immediately see this picture in front of me, the entire mind map. That is how an image thinker works. We think in images. But it's not just limited to learning. It's also, and if you recognize it, I would love it if you would let me know. But it's also when people tell me things. They tell me things that they had experienced, or maybe even personal things. And then the moment they say something, you immediately have an image of the things that you're saying. And sometimes that's awesome. Sometimes that's also not awesome. At the moment, my mother tells me something private about her and her new husband that has to do with private moments. If you get my drift, then that's also immediately an image that pops up in your mind, and that are not images I want in my mind. So in that case, it doesn't work. But if my friend tells me that she went to the spot that we went to before, where we had our toasts and celebrated life, then I immediately see that spot. I immediately know how it looked when we were there. I see us toasting each other. Those are the images that immediately pop up in my head the moment she mentions our special spot. And that is also image thinking. And when we think in images, it helps us remember and recall, like I said before, but not just in learning, but it's also in your company. If I take the example of, let me think, oh yeah, a vision board. A vision board for us highly sensitive people is the most awesome way to visualize our future. A vision board is not just limited to thinking about how you want your company to be in the future. Of course, that can be a subject of your vision board, but a vision board can also be about your life. So you first need to get clear on your big dream. Let's say your big dream is you want a new house. That's something that most people can relate to. So you want a new house and you're going to create a vision board for it. What you then do is you go on internet and you find all the images that are related to your house. So you start by finding images of the outside of the house, of a house that would appeal to you, of the type of house that you would like to have. And you find images that reflect what you think of when you see your perfect house or your ideal house or your dream house. And then you start thinking about the inside of your house. Not just how the front door looks, but also, do you have a hallway, yes or no? Is it square or is it a long one? Is it white? What colors does it have? What type of floor does it have? What paint did you use in your house? You really start to build the image, and then you move on to, for instance, the living room, and you think, what elements would be in my dream house in the living room? Does it, for instance, have beautiful bay windows with a stunning view? And what type of view would you like it to have? Would you like it to have an ocean view, or a lake view, or a forest view? Or would you prefer to be in the middle of a city? So would you like to see something, a landmark, like the Eiffel Tower if you're living in Paris, or maybe the Colosseum if you're living in Rome? What would you like your view to be when you look out of your window of your living room? And do you want it to have a fireplace? Do you want it to have wooden floors or stone floors? Or do you want to have a lounge couch? Or do you want to have all kinds of chairs in your house? And this is how visualizing works, and this is also how your vision board works. The more details you add to it, the more complete your visualization will be, but the more complete your focus will be. And you do this for every area in your house. You do this for the living room. You then move on to the kitchen. What would your perfect ideal kitchen look like? Does it have a cooking island, or is it one long area? Does it have a really big area for you to sit So you can dine, but also invite friends over, or do you have a separate dining room and you won't eat in the kitchen? And these are things that you can visualize, and you can make them come to life by finding images in magazines or on internet that reflect how you would like your kitchen or your dining room to look like. And you can do the same with the bedroom and the bathroom and every other room that you would like. Maybe you would like to have, if you're creative and if you paint a lot like me, maybe you would like to have a studio where you can paint, which has lots of light coming in and lots of windows, obviously, for the natural light. And what colors would you use in your house? These are all the things that we as image thinkers can think in our head. And it creates an overall picture, and we can visualize that on a vision board in order to attract that into our lives. So by making it visual, and you can of course even do this the moment that you're not an image thinker, but then your vision board would probably be less images but more words. Maybe you would find one image of sort of the living room that you wanted, but then you would cut out words like fireplace, wooden floors, and different words, gray curtains, beige walls, or whatever it is that you want. So if you're a word thinker, you would add words to your vision board, as to being an image thinker who would more put an image of the exact color that it is that you want in your house, or the exact color of your wooden floor. So not just the word, but more the exact shade of wood that you would like in your house. And that's also to stipulate the difference between an image thinker and a word thinker. These are those types of things. And I really love the vision board. And you can make a vision board for all different kinds of things, but you can also make one big vision board. So like I said, you can make a vision board for your house with all the things that I just told you about, but you can also make a vision board for your perfect job that you would like. And what type of company would you like to work for? What type of work would you like to do? What type of colleagues would you like to have? How would you like your workplace to look? Those types of things. You can also do it for your company. And what would you like to attract into your life? Because the vision board, it works together with the law of attraction, the law of inviting those things that you desire into your life. So you can make it about maybe you're single, maybe you want to attract a new love in your life. So then, hi Edwin, nice of you to join. And so then you can make a vision board about your ideal partner. What does your ideal partner look like? What type of hair does it have? What color of hair, color of eyes, body build, but also hobbies and things. And you can add images of all those things to your vision board. And that makes it even more powerful. And again, if you're a word thinker, you would add words to your vision board instead of images. But we HSPs, we tend to think in images. Because images also allow us to feel, to make the entire picture complete. And if we know how something looks, then we also know how it would feel. If it would feel good to us or if it would feel bad to us. And that's in addition to image thinking. It's for us, it's linked to our feelings, to how we feel about stuff. So creating a vision board, for me, it's really awesome. I've created several, actually. I cannot show you today. I'm sorry. If I could, I would, but they are in my house. And I did take a picture of them with my phone. But right now I'm doing these live broadcasts with my phone, so I'm not able to show them to you. But I created a vision board for the house that I want to attract in my life. And in my case, also in which country the house should be, because I would love to be somewhere where the sun shines more and where life has an easier pace than it has in Holland. So my vision board about my house is about the country that I wanted to be in, type of house that I want it to be, the way I want it to look, the colors that I want to use, the view that I would like it to have, and all the other things that are combined to my house. I made a vision board for that. I also made a vision board for my company, and it contains my big dream for my company, but also my 5-year plan and what would I like to achieve in those 5 years. And I've made it visual by using images that the moment that I see it, I react with an emotion to it. The moment I look at my vision board and I see all the images that I've cut out and I envision myself having that, it makes me feel amazing, obviously, but also it makes me feel warm, it makes me feel happy, it makes me feel like living on top of the world. If that could be true in my life, if I could manifest that in my life, I would feel beyond bliss, I would feel beyond happy. And those feelings, those come up the moment I look at my vision board. Hi Petra, nice of you to join. Good to see you today. So a vision board to me is one of the best ways for us to use our visualization power, because that is one of the biggest powers I think that we have as an HSP. And again, it can work against you, but it can also work for you. And the moment you choose where you want to focus yourself on, the moment you choose where you want to focus your attention on, then that triggers an emotion. And of course we can have the same reaction when we look at negative things, but obviously you don't want to put negative things on your vision board. Hey Noam, nice of you to join. So you will add all the things, all the images that will make you feel good to your vision board. And I created a vision board also besides my house and my company. I also created one for my ideal customer, for instance. And what do I want my ideal customer to be? What characteristics does my ideal customer have? For instance, my ideal customer needs to be coachable. They need to be motivated. They need to think themselves that they want to change, and they need to be prepared to do the work for changing. And these are 5 things that my ideal customer would need to be. And I've tried to gather as many images with that as I can, because then the moment I look at it, like I showed you with the mind map before, then it comes alive for me. I try to find the images that make my ideal customer an actual person. And that helps me to attract those customers into my company, into my life, into my business. And it will ensure also that I attract those customers that I love to work with. The customers that inspire me, that give me energy. Because I don't know how it is for you. I don't know if you have a company, but it can also be the same when you're working in employment. If you are working with people in your environment that give you energy, that inspire you, then you have a great day. Then you love going to work and you feel wonderful. But if you're working with colleagues or with customers or with clients that don't really fit your ideal customer or ideal client, or ideal colleague, if you're working for a boss, then it can really drain your energy. And those are things that we are really susceptible to as highly sensitive people. And we need to watch our energy, and we need to watch what we focus on. So the moment we create a vision board with all the images that make us feel happy and grateful and thankful and blessed and over the moon with joy, then that will generate a whole lot of positive energy. And like I told you before, where attention goes, energy flows. So the moment we focus on all the things that we do want, we attract more of that in our lives. So the moment we have images on our vision board that make us happy, we will attract not only the things that we visualized using the images, but also more things that would make us happy. And who doesn't want to be happy? Happiness is something that most of us strive for, I think. So being a vision thinker really helps when you create a vision board with images to attract those things in our lives. Why are we vision thinkers as highly sensitive people? Well, because we are Well, I'm not entirely sure. I've tried to do research about it, but there hasn't been a lot written about it. So maybe that's an idea for a new blog just popping up in my head. But I think it has to do with our emotions, because what we see is directly linked with our emotions. I see this every time I do a physical course. I do an exercise. Hi Claudia, nice of you to join. I do an exercise with the people where I show them images of people just that are cut out of magazines, and I ask them to write down what they see. It's a simple exercise actually, and you see a photo of something, and you can do it with me. If you look at me, what are the things that you actually see? And I let them write everything down, and then in the end we're going to discuss what they saw, and then they tell me things like, well, I think she had a really difficult life. I think she's really unhappy. I think she struggled, or maybe is still struggling in her life. And I think maybe she's heading for a burnout, because I don't think she's really happy. And I feel for her. Or when I look at this picture of this lady, I think we won't be friends. Thank you for loving my purple dress. I love it too. Purple is my favorite color. Thanks for saying that. I love it. They look at the picture of the young lady and they think, no, she and I, we won't be friends. She looks like, I'm sorry to say it, but she looks like a total bitch. I don't think we could be friends. I don't think she has the same energy as me. I don't think, that she would be a right fit for me. Hi Chris, nice of you to join. I don't know if you noticed what is happening here, but they are not describing what they are seeing. They are describing what they think based on what they are seeing. If they had described what they were actually seeing, they would have said, I see an old lady with a brown coat, with gray hair, sitting on a bench, holding a cane. Or I see a young girl with long dark hair, pink top, white pants on a white couch. Because that is what you see. But what they tell me is, I think she is a bitch and we won't be friends. Or I think she has had a really tough life and I think she's unhappy and miserable. But that's not what you see. That's what you think you see based on what you actually see. It's your interpretation of the things that you see. So I think that our image thinking is linked to how we feel. And we think we see somebody being unhappy because their eyes are downwards and their mouth are downwards, and they feel sad. And the funny thing is, most of the time we're actually correct, and most of the time that is actually what is happening, but it's not always the case. So I think we are visual thinkers, visual thinkers, because of the things that we feel, because it's directly tied into our emotions. Hi Bloom Life Coach, nice of you to join. What other question did I have? I discussed what visual thinking is, the difference between visual thinking and being a word thinker. Is there something that I missed? I am not sure. Is there a question maybe from somebody that's watching today that I can answer about this topic? And I'll try to think about something else that I forgot to mention about vision thinking. No, I think I discussed most of what I wanted to tell you. So like I showed you before, to recap, when learning, we like to make things like this. Once you're a vision thinker, if you're a word thinker, you can also use mind maps, but you will only fill out the branches with the words. But being a vision thinker and image thinker, you want to add in all the little images, because then when you have your exam and the questions come about this topic, you will immediately see the entire image. You will see the center topic, and you will see the branches, and you will see the images, not the words if you're an image thinker, but you will see the images, and then quickly remember what is associated to the main topic. And if you're a word thinker, you will see the words on the branches. So you'll have the main topic, and then you will see immediately all the short words, the core words that you mentioned on the branch related to that topic. So it works for both vision and word thinkers. And then I discussed the vision board for attracting in your life what it is that you want, how you do that, the different types of vision boards that you can create. And lastly, I told you about why we HSPs are vision thinkers, because I think it's connected to the way we feel and the way we interpret what it is that we are seeing. So I hope this was a valuable session to you. I hope I was able to teach you something, that you learned something new. Please don't forget to keep sending me your questions and your topics. I would love to discuss whatever it is that you want to know in next week's episode. You can email them to me at info@tobeInbalance.com, info@and the number 2 beinbalance.com, but I will post the information also below this video. Yeah, well, that's it. If you liked this video, I would really appreciate it if you would give me a like, and if you could share it with the people around you. That would be awesome as well, because I want to reach as many people as possible. So like, comment, share. Thank you so much. And I hope to see you all again next week. Same time, same place, live at both Instagram and Facebook, 5:30 Amsterdam time, which is GMT +1. And I hope that you could all be there next week. Thanks again for watching. Thanks again for joining, for waving, for being here. I love you all, and I hope to see you all again next week. Bye.